Hello! Whoa, 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 calm down, calm down. It's okay, we can fix this. We can fix this. You know what, let's just get straight into the video. So, your life is in shambles, I'm guessing, and you need a way to get yourself out of this rut, or whatever situation you're in. I have a system that I think can help. Might as well give it a shot. So the first part is the basket, the repository of your stream of consciousness. The whole point of this section is you take it out of your head and onto a piece of paper. And whether that's something you carry with you or it's a phone app, the main criteria is that it's super quick to open, super fast to load, and doesn't have a whole bunch of navigation. I recommend using a notes app, and if you can pin this note to the top, that's even better. I don't recommend Notion or Evernote or apps like that. They tend to take a lot of time to load and to have a lot of navigation. So a very basic, simple note app or a little notebook or something is perfect for this. These are the random things apparently that I need to do that's making me feel overwhelmed. And now that I have everything down on the paper, I can move on to the second step. The second step is to identify from the basket what tasks are recurring. Anything like pay rent or pay phone bills, this happens monthly. And there's no point every month me crossing this out and re-recording it every time. And actually, from this list, buy groceries is also a recurring task. Yes, it's not on a fixed schedule, but groceries is something that you will continually keep buying. You can have things that recur daily or weekly or whatever. I'm going to list my tasks here. Now that you've separated these out, we can move on to the third part. And now this is the third and last part of the list, where you have fire, smoke, and puddle, and I'll explain what each of those mean and how you can organize your notes under them. Fire, this is where anything that the longer you neglect it, the bigger it gets and the more problematic it becomes, like a fire. The usual suspects in this area are things with deadlines. As time runs out, it becomes more difficult, like you start incurring more fees, things like that. And so what you do is you look up at your basket and at the moon, and you assess, okay, which of these fall under fire. So if I look at this list, I would say my super hard test is in 3 days. Every day that passes means I have less and less time to finish this task. Now, if I had, let's say, a phone bill or rent that was due for that month that was late or overdue, and I started to incur fees, or I was about to start to incur fees, this is something that I could also add to the fire list, but I wouldn't remove it from the moon list, because next month rent's gonna be due again. So in that case, I wouldn't remove it from that part. Anyway, rent's not overdue, lucky for us. Okay, we move on with the list. Smoke is next. Essentially anything that kinda okay for the time being, but you can tell if you leave it for too long, it'll eventually start to spark flames. This is what the smoke area is for. Things that you should be keeping your eye on, but you don't necessarily need to urgently take care of. The term paper, let's say it's due in a week, but you can usually finish a term paper in 3 days or however long, okay, you know what, this is something that should be one of my priorities for the week, but I don't need to take care of it immediately. Otherwise it would be under the fire category. And then the last section is puddle, like the name suggests. Puddle is for things that if you leave them and you neglect them, not much really happens. It's kind of the opposite of smoke and fire. There's no deadline, there's no penalty for being late or anything like that. But if I don't get to them, yeah, they can become problematic, and eventually those may upgrade to smokes down the line. But for right now, once the fires and smokes are taken care of, then you can start to think about the puddles. And that's kind of the beauty of the list. You're categorizing them by consequence. And this brings the sinking ship back above sea level. This isn't something that you may use all year round, but whenever you find that things start to get really tough, this is a good way to kind of clear your head of all the things that you need to do. And then when you look at the list, you just focus in on each specific category to get through all the things that you need to get done. Because it happens sometimes that you're so overwhelmed with so many things, and a lot of people tend to default to tasks that aren't really consequential, but they do it so that they feel productive. They do them as an excuse to not get to the really important tasks. This really sets things straight. So I hope you can take something away from this, and I hope that if you do implement it, you find that it helps you. And if that's the case, and you find yourself back here, leave a comment. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you later.